Welcome back to another episode of the RADelaide Summit podcast. This week we cover special surprise and guest Money joins us for some inside goss on the Wang. We talk sacrifices and what it might take to climb the ranks of elite sport and music. Why not?
Oh, yeah. Elite everything.
And find out what us Summiteers have been up to for the last 2 weeks because we're on RDO. And more to come. Come along for the ride.
If you're new to the podcast and haven't listened before, each week we scour the Strava leaderboards watching you do your efforts up Norton Summit and discuss them here on the podcast whether you like it or not. There's a chance we might shame you and we promise not to name you personally, but the odds are high that we'll probably shame ourselves because we are not as fast as you. Look, at the end of the day, our goal is to encourage and celebrate everyone going up Adelaide's best hill climb, Norton Summit, and reaching their own goals. Fuck. Oh dear. So with that, let's introduce ourselves. We're your Summiteers. Alex.
Hello.
Wang.
Hello.
Kashi.
Ciao, ciao.
Money.
Hi there.
And I am Frankie. Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners, to another RADelaide Summit podcast episode.
.com.
.com.au.
Anyway, as
/
always, we need to know what's been happening on or around the summit this week, and we are starting with Wang. And you are looking a little bit nervous, more than usual.
Do you want to tell us why?
A special
What's
guest
going
on here
on?
that
You
I
want to
wasn't
sit on
aware
this
of.
side of the
I
table?
thought we were having no guests this
Why
week.
can't you look him in the eye?
I don't know what he's going to come out with.
Are you
I
scared?
don't trust him.
The Wang's gone flaccid.
One of us is enough.
Do you want to tell the listeners the relationship here or not?
So Money is actually the Wang's
Pain in the arse son.
son. I like him better than you.
That tends to be the general consensus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's not hard.
Yeah.
I'll give that.
What have I been doing this week? Not a lot. Standard copy paste for me this week, really.
You need to change
Just,
that shit up. Otherwise, your
no.
son is on.
I'll start changing it up when you put your rides on Strava. How's that sound?
Actually, you know what? I really like that.
Because that's not going to happen, so
No.
I don't have to change it up.
Exactly.
okay.
True.
Yeah, a bit of bouldering this week. Had to get that purple one.
I'm not
Whatever
even
it's
gonna say
called.
that.
Nah, just lazy 19 hours. I didn't get to the 20 hours this week, unfortunately.
What did you get? 19.7?
19 hours
Oh
this
my
week.
God.
Had a bit of a... Didn't do supers yesterday. Had a bit of a sleep in the
I
morning.
did see that. It's very unusual for you.
Yeah,
you
I was
feeling okay?
a bit... Huh?
You look a bit
I
pale.
was a bit tired.
Wearing
Comes
a
with
pink
age, I think.
shirt.
Had a bit of a sleep in and then went and met one of the Strava warriors yesterday. Just did a beach cruise. Little cruise this morning. Been giving back to the community this afternoon at the winter crits.
Is this to counteract your abuse you hurled to the local council about your verge?
No, that still happens.
You feel bad a little bit, don't
Nah,
you? You do.
typical
That's why you're
council are
countering it.
fucked. I hate them. But yeah, done some marshalling at the winter crits today. Good to see everyone back out racing, and that's about it. Work. So yeah, pretty boring this week for me. I will when you start being nice to me.
Sweet.
Alex has been nasty to me this week.
Kashi, what have you been
Kashi,
up
what
to?
about you?
What'd I do? Roof leak. My roof leaked.
Oh yeah, did you call someone to help you do that?
Yeah, no, we got it.
Did you sort that out? I heard he had an angry leak underneath his seat.
He did have an angry. So I messaged Alex, and he's like, "Yeah, I've got an angry leak." Sends me a photo back with an actual vegetable leak with a smiley face on it. Yeah, it was great. Yeah, it was pretty good.
He's got root water coming in his roof, and I'm like, yeah, I've got an angry leak under my sink.
So yeah, had to relocate the office into the living room, which actually is pretty good. Worked. Didn't boulder. Road gymmed.
We bouldered the week before. It's been 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, it has
we
been.
did. We
Shit.
Spider-Man the shit out of that
Yeah,
stuff.
that was good.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. Alex is good, clearly.
I'm a monkey.
Yeah, you are. I just fucking
just sit on the
manhandle.
floor watching.
But that's about it. It's pretty good. Life's been pretty good. Just dad duties. Not so copy paste, but yeah, it's been good. I went out to. Actually, no. Yes, I went out to dinner. It was great.
We went out to dinner
Yes, we did.
after bouldering.
Yes, we did. Thank you. Thank you. Frankie.
Oh dear. Well, What do I want to say? I did 2 trainer sessions and 2 runs, and then I was crying on the ABC. That's what I've done this week.
I did see that too.
Did you see that?
Can you sign my boob?
Yeah,
You're famous.
yeah. So there was footage that was taken at a auction,
Yeah,
and
I saw it.
little to my knowledge did I know that it was going to be broadcasted to all of Australia.
Have you contacted him yet?
Yeah.
I have actually.
Can you get
Pay for
anything
some
back?
royalties.
Just ask them for some royalties so I can pay for my next house. Yeah, but no.
No response?
No response, but that's okay.
Nothing further on the house front.
Yeah, just doing house inspections, but that's about it. But that's
So
all for
no
me.
stories this week.
No stories. No. How about you, Alex?
I feel like you're holding back.
No,
you,
that's
just
it.
you just winked at me.
Well, actually, it was Soundman and I's for 1 year
That's
anniversary,
Oh.
which is very sweet.
Congratulations.
I feel very lucky. He's a very wonderful boyfriend. So,
Boyfriend,
very-
partner.
boyfriend, partner,
Boyfriend
whatever you want to
sounds
call
like
it. What, cheap, does it?
Young,
What? I am
like
young.
high school type thing.
Yeah,
What
okay.
would you call it? Partner. De
Partner.
facto.
Yeah.
One half, Eddie.
Technically de facto, yeah.
But yeah, just like a little shout out because every week he comes along and he's in the background.
He
and
actually deserves a medal.
He does all the editing for us, and our sound is actually not too bad. So thank you very much, Soundman. I love you. Okay.
Did you do anything for the anniversary?
No, we had chicken and chips, and we were in our pajamas
Oh.
all day.
Chicken chef?
Yes.
Way to go.
That's a good
Well
enough
done.
anniversary.
Yep.
Yep. So that's me,
And
Alex.
you're all dressed up again?
Yes, I'm
Looking like a
going. I'm
potato
going
sack.
out after
Where are we going?
to my parents' place.
To your home?
So you're going to your house.
Well, I spend a lot of time with Peter, so it's like going out, really. I meant Soundman. Sorry.
I miss Olga. Send her
I will.
our regards.
Dogs.
Yeah. Anyway, Alex.
Anyway, me.
What are you
so
doing?
yes, I'm back off of my hiatus, riding, gym, bouldering, house renos.
How are they coming along?
Really good, actually. Now, I know we said we were never going to talk about this, but something has taken my breath away more than the time that I saw the Wangs Wang in Ballarat. Okay? And that was plunge recovery.
Huh?
Yes.
Oh my God.
What's that?
Yeah.
So you spend an hour in a 65-degree infrared sauna
I'm sorry, why?
to, I don't know, get all the shit out of you.
Detoxify.
And then you jump in a freezing cold pool at 7 degrees for 2.5 minutes.
Where did you do that? Was that?
At Hove, Brighton?
Yeah,
somewhere
the
out
one
there,
down the
courtesy of the Big Banana.
Big Banana. I was going to say the one the Big Banana goes
yeah,
to.
she's obsessed.
Yeah. She
Yeah,
loves the
it
sauna.
was wild. Like, it literally took you, I almost stopped breathing.
Yeah.
And then you go from 7 degrees to 36 degrees to 14 degrees to 40 degrees, and you do that 3 times, 2.5 minutes each pull.
What's it supposed to do to help
Recovery.
Recover.
recovery?
Just-
Because it just sounds like you're putting your body through a little bit of trauma.
It's
No.
pretty awesome.
Yeah, okay. You
gonna
like
do it
that.
again.
Gets, just increases muscle repair and
Yeah.
all that.
Some
Interesting.
science around it. You can work on you can burn more calories shivering than you can exercising, apparently.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm doing it wrong.
And it makes you shiver. So yeah, that's been me. Back on the bike. It's been fun.
Well,
What about you,
No
boss?
Strava rides.
money. Do you ride bikes, first of all?
No,
No.
I have not taken up that.
You did
that
for a little
sick
bit.
Bug, for that little bit. For what? Maybe a year.
Yeah.
But,
And then you realise it was shit and gave
yeah,
up.
gave up.
You
Sort
didn't
of,
get the lean
sort of-
genes from me, so
yeah, sort of did a Frankie and
it's good
just
at going downhill.
put it in the side room and
Yeah,
that was
that's
it.
totally fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. I'll take that.
What have I done?
You've become a bit of a Facebook superstar.
Yeah, I was just about to
Yes.
say the infamous line of a flog, copy and paste week for me. So yeah, quick 44
Seriously.
hours at work. Yeah, Facebook star apparently on the ads.
I like it.
Yeah,
Nah,
shout out
those
to
have
Forward Drive
those have gotta
Supercentre. Apart from that, that's about it. Jet off to Melbourne in the morning
Oh,
for a
sweet.
week. Yeah,
What's
off to the
happening
footy
over there?
tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah, so Queen's birthday, big freeze. Much like you, Frankie, mine and my girlfriend's 1 year during the week.
What's his
Cute.
name?
Ooh.
Emma, she's a lovely girl. I don't know
Oh,
what she
dad-
sees in
dad
him, to be
approved.
honest, but no, she's a
Dad
good
approved.
girl.
That's
Dad
a
approved.
big thing. It's the first I've heard.
She
Breaking
can't
news
be all
here.
there, seriously, but but nah, she's good. She's a
Nah,
lovely
she
girl.
does get paid very good money to be with me. So yeah. Yeah. Apart from that, not much.
Sweet. Look, I thought this week we would talk a little bit because we've got your boy here and you've been in the top end of the field as a junior world champion on the track. We know it takes a lot of time, effort, consistency and commitment to make your way up through the ranks in any professional sport. Cycling itself demands significant hours on the bike to stay around the top, not to mention all the other stuff we do like workouts, recovery, gym, all that stuff to stay in optimal form, to stop getting sick, run down.
Yeah, plunking yourself in the fucking ice water.
And to maintain focus. But today, using our own lab rat, the Wang, I'd like to discuss it a little bit further. So from your point of view, Wang, what things do you reckon or do you remember sacrificing to keep yourself at the top end of the sport?
Do you know this is like a back end compliment? We're basically acknowledging that you were once good.
I was all right.
You just gave him a massive shit sandwich too.
They're important shit sandwiches.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, look, as a youngster, so probably around Money's age over there, would have sacrificed a fair bit. So going through high school, year 11, didn't do year 12 because I went over to Europe early on. But yeah, look, most of you, I guess, when you're a teenager, 18, 17, 19, they're the sort of times you're going out
17,
partying,
18,
drinking.
19, mate.
But that's
the way I
didn't finish year 12, we can see.
I think you sacrifice a lot with your friends and, high school parties.
Could you
and
argue that it
drinking.
depends on the kinds of friends that you make?
No.
You don't think so? Because like when I was in year 12, I wasn't partying.
Yeah, but you were playing the violin, so
Yeah, that's
Again,
probably
committed to the
I couldn't
top
imagine a
end of
violin
your-
party being too rowdy.
Yeah, no, I'm a fucking.
You haven't been to band camp?
But no, you do. You make a lot of sacrifices with, obviously, parties, no drinking, because whatever you do, you've got to back up for your training session the next day. So
I do remember Urethra Franklin when she was on the podcast. She did mention that when she would go out to family dinners, she didn't know whether to sit or stand
Correct.
or what she could
all
eat
that
and
sort
not
of
eat.
stuff.
And you're constantly thinking about stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
That takes a lot of brain.
Yeah, to maintain that focus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
Is there anything that you feel like you missed out on, though, in those years?
I made up for it later in life.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably why, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
because I sort of missed out on that youth part of it, and didn't do what most teenagers and 20-year-olds are doing. So I made up for it a little bit later in life, and could say went off the rails for a little bit there and experimented in drugs and alcohol and all that sort of stuff.
So are you telling me that's how Money's here, or
no, that was an accident. That was an accident. But
Well, on that note, obviously we have a fair idea about what kind of sacrifices you have to make. But the reason why Money's here is because
he's made no sacrifices.
Yeah.
Well, no, I think we want to have a better understanding of how do these sacrifices affect friends and family, but also you're now really into the sport. You do 20 hours a week, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. So I think it'd be good to, talk to Money here to talk about, what does his addiction do to you?
look, I guess it is a big thing, but I guess it's a good thing. Look, before you can even call it COVID kilos, it was just kilos, and that was on after a while. So it's good that he's gotten back on the bike, but I guess I think there is a lot of times where you don't have a lot of time with each other, but at the end of the day, it's
I'll
probably a
get
good
sick
thing.
of spending 2 hours with him on the bike.
We don't ride together anymore.
That's good.
Yeah, you're a lucky man. But I think not only the negative of that, but also the positive, I guess, is we've done some pretty cool trips and stuff. So Ballarat, we did Nats, did Tog a couple of times, and Super Series. So we've been away and stayed together a couple of times, which was nice. Good to sort of get that.
From one side of it, at least.
Who else is going to hold your biddens, Flog?
Yeah, true. He does make a good swanny.
Yeah, exactly.
What's a swanny? Like a swan?
Passes
Yeah,
you
yeah.
your
Yeah, close
biddens and your food bag and
Oh,
stuff
yeah,
like
that's
that
right.
as you're driving
Yeah.
past.
But I think from that, it's, just there's always a good side and a bad side to it. But
Yeah.
What is the bad side?
I guess sort of that, I didn't have it really as a child.
I guess, yeah,
No, it's all
Geordie
good. I
would have
wasn't
been-
talking.
a little bit young from when I was obviously an elite and at the junior world level, so he wasn't affected by any sacrifices back then as much. It's probably more now that I'm back on the bike that he could comment on. But yeah, obviously I was only 19, 20, so clearly he wasn't around then. Otherwise I would have been pretty young having kids then. So.
Yeah. But with his, with regards to like what he does now, because he's obviously pretty committed. Like I couldn't do 20 hours a week.
You could.
I don't want to.
There's a difference there.
I run my own business at the same time. But is there anything that kind of sort of filters outside of the sport that you've grasped for your own profession or personal life, like with regards to discipline or commitment?
Oh, look, I think it's, I guess so. So I guess it's sort of a polar opposite to microscopic Wang over there. And I guess that would be like the full commitment I've had to the last couple of jobs I've had. So I've been very, very fortunate to have a last 2 or 3 jobs I've had, which I've really loved.
Yeah.
And I guess sort of the commitment that I guess Wang gets out of riding is sort of what I put into my job. And
so you put in and you get back.
Yeah, correct. And it's the same thing. Like I coach junior footy. I guess it's the same sort of thing as well. Like I love my footy, and I guess putting that commitment, and like I've done it for 3 years now, and seeing the kids grow and grow and grow and having the same group is pretty awesome. And I guess that just boils down to commitment, which is the one good thing he gave me.
Listening to this guy?
Just the one good thing.
Yeah, well, I'm fortunate I didn't get your looks. So.
I was going to say that you actually don't look alike at all.
Thank you. Yeah. No, not really.
I'm not sure if he's mine.
Oh my God.
Might be the postman.
It's just a Jerry Springer show.
Yeah.
It's a test. Yeah. So apart from that, it's always some negatives and positives, but I guess I've been pretty fortunate not to be affected a heap of it, and gained some pretty good positives out of him.
I like it. Yeah, it's really good watching other people grow. It's very rewarding. I love that.
Yeah.
Do that with my staff.
You'd be a good boss.
I am a good boss. Do as you're told.
That's it.
That works.
Anything else you want to add to that?
Well, no, I was going to ask, Kashi mentioned that potentially going to talk about, other genres of things. So not just cycling. Not to spoil or reveal anything too personal, but you did do musical things.
I guess a professional musician, you could call it. Yeah.
Yeah. And were you ever surrounded by like a parent or a peer that was also very committed to whatever it is that they need to be committed to?
I think, I was pretty lucky. Like mum and dad, both hard workers, always played sport or fit and active like that. I had that learned behaviour there. They all ate really well, played sport even like when they were parents as well. So I think I was just growing up or being surrounded by that was amazing. Yeah. Like if you put in the work, you get results. So
do you think you absorb your environment then?
Shit, yeah.
So you've absorbed that from your parents, your hard work, your commitment to whatever it is you need to do. And do you think that's why you're able to ride at the level that you are riding now? Yeah. Or do you think that's coming from somewhere else?
Probably a bit of both.
Yeah.
So always like your own worst enemy. Like I'll always want to be better than where I was yesterday. Which sometimes you battle with. You go through ebbs and flows. Where you go through, no, I'm actually happy with where I'm at right now. But then, that devil on your shoulder will come back and be like, boy, dog.
Where do you think that devil on your shoulder comes from then?
I think that actually Australia as a whole, we put so much pressure on sport and anything like that, like you have to be at a certain standard.
And do you think that trickles down into like amateur level sport?
Yeah, 100%. 110%.
Yeah.
From country footy to Vic Park crits, doesn't matter.
Do you feel that money in because you play football, right?
Yeah, yes and no is a big issue with that this year, but yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I think there is sort of a sense of, pressure. And I guess that, if you're reasonably talented at what you do and you're consistently performing
then it's expected of you almost.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I guess sort of it comes from you may have one bad game or, one bad day on the bike or whatever. I guess
Never had one.
I don't see your name at the top of the list this week.
I didn't go up there at all. I had one bad day on the bike. That was about 200k mark on the 300k ride when Alex was hurting me.
Finally. Only took 200Ks.
I think talking about sacrifice as well, I think more so than the athlete that makes a sacrifice, it's also, like, I can reflect back on it now and look at the sacrifices my parents made. Just looking now at this, like from the outside of the sport now, what sacrifices they would need to have made, travelling every weekend. So they would have had to be making sacrifices to their social life as well. So, not going out to, dinner or something because they're away, taking their son racing in Mount Gambier or Berry. And, back then there was pretty much racing every weekend in the country. So, I think it doesn't just affect you as the athlete, also the parents are making that massive
There's also
sacrifice as
potential
well.
there for it to kind of bounce back in a negative way towards the child. Parents must feel like, we're doing all this stuff for you.
Look what we're doing for you.
Look what we're doing for you.
Yeah.
Like, there must be some level of like expectation for the sacrifices that parents might be making for their kids. And then how does that affect the child or person that's going through elite sport? And then is that attributing to potential mental health problems, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff.
I think that happens just when I had friends that went to private schools, and it was even just going to private school. We paid good money for you to be at this school.
Yeah.
We expect results.
Yeah.
Regardless of if it's elite sport or whatever. Like, and I do understand. I understand they might think that's a bit of a motivator. And so for some people it does. Like for some kids, that could be their signal to go, oh, fuck, yeah, I should pull my head into line and do better. But,
Some people are resistant to that pressure.
Yeah, I was just going to say, for me as a teenager, I was like, nah, fuck you.
You seem like the kind of person that would have definitely rebelled when you're in your early teens. You're smiling. And is that right?
I did what I wanted, but I actually never got into trouble. Like, I never got into trouble with police or anything like that.
Right.
I was, like, I knew better.
You did, yeah.
Yeah. Like, growing up with, like, surfing and punk rock, and, like, I was also always surrounded by fucking drugs and everything. I was going to say. Like that. Always. Like, one of my uncles was, he's been, like, long, how do I articulate that without...
Incriminating him.
Yeah. He's been like battling demons for 30 years with substance abuse.
Yeah.
And like I saw that firsthand when I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
So like I knew from a very young age that shit would fucking kill you.
Yeah.
So I knew that I would never get to that degree, like in my rational mind, or even when I was a teenager, I was like, nah, that shit doesn't.
So that obviously would have scared you then. And then your brain would have been like, yeah, let's not do that.
Well, actually, there's a couple of little moments in life, but I also think I was probably smarter than that, and I knew that shit, there's no point. But when I was playing state footy, we went and actually played a game at the juvie jail, played touch footy against the inmates when I was like 15.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, went into the jail, played a game of touch footy, and it was fucking scary.
So did you ever talk to them at all or not?
Yeah, we had like a chat and everything like that, and so that was back in the 90s.
Do you recall the conversations that you've had with them?
I just had chin wags. Like,
what's it? Sorry, what?
Just small talk.
General
small
chat.
talk.
Yes.
Not like, so why are you incriminating?
Oh, yeah. No, you couldn't,
Don't do that.
Ask that.
Don't look me in the eye.
Yeah.
So, I think there was... I know, right? Who did you stab? But no, nothing like that. But yeah, there was a couple of like moments like that where you're like, I might be a bit of a shit sometimes, but I'm doing all right.
Yeah. Alex, did you have that same level of self-awareness? Because I feel like...
Oh, no, I just went for it.
Did you?
Yeah, pretty much. I made some very horrible choices.
Yeah.
But then I was going to segue into this. Then I made some really good choices because I found something that I loved. Yes.
I don't think you got on the microphone. Cash, you said meth. Anyway, continue.
That's messed up.
I found the bike, and for me, yes, it is really good to race at a high level. I haven't been right up there, but the reward I get from being on the bike and helping other people enjoy that and get faster is way greater than
Just
everything
performing.
else I've chosen to do in my life prior.
Really?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you
yeah.
would-
You
you
can't
would-
get the thrill of flying up Norton Summit for your own PB or even just having a good day like you would going out partying for the night anymore.
Really?
Amen.
Yeah. So and like Money said before, like when you can pass that on, that fun and like improvements to other people, it just amplifies it.
And how do you do that?
Well, for
At the
example,
moment.
like with my staff, like I catch up with them all one-on-one all the time and always want to find out what they're up to or what they're striving for and try and help push that forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
Oh.
a bunch of guys I ride with, not the Wang, he's slow, but I've got to like help people get their own PBs. Yeah.
So really, that's why you just loved last year whooping my ass up Norton.
Yeah.
Because it
Get
was
more
fun. It was
enjoyment out
fun.
of that than my own PB.
Really?
Yeah.
That's actually kind of wholesome.
Nurturing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Nature and nurture.
I like how we just like we were supposed to talk about something, but we went somewhere else. I like this.
I love that it took you this long to understand that he actually gives a fuck about you.
Sometimes I genuinely question it because I can't tell, and I will like just have a cry and be like, "Fucking Alex, fucking bitch, he hates me."
Yeah, he's made me cry this week too.
Is that how he shows his love? Is that
It must be how. It is.
It's the ethnic coming through.
Yeah.
But-
I guess, like, lastly on that, there's obviously a stack of super famous people. Does anyone know or recall some renowned or notorious sacrificing for some pro people?
Oh, I forgot to do
Like
my
any short stories or anything that we know that
Well, I don't know if you just saw the advertiser last week. Friend of the pod, Captain Pegleg was in there.
It was.
He was.
Yes.
And he obviously spoke about, everything that led up to where he is now and, how he became,
It's a fair sacrifice.
Yeah.
Losing a leg,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
That's like the ultimate.
Oh my god!
That's
Jesus
like the ultimate
Christ.
sacrifice.
Yeah, and I guess sort of like the sacrifices, I was reading that and the sacrifices that he sort of made and with friends and family and everything like that. And, he's at the highest level that
Yeah.
his
And off the back of
profession
that,
can go.
Frankie,
Why is this directed to me?
no, because you were here at the start of the podcast.
Right.
Captain Pegleg
Yes.
wanted to be on the podcast, so he was smashing himself to get a PB to
Yeah.
get on the podcast.
Yeah.
See what we did?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
No, I mean,
Trainer,
okay,
Trainer
so
Chode, he's always asking me if he's going to get him. If he does a quick time this week, is he going to get a mention on the podcast?
that is wholesome.
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of where this podcast started, though, right? This was it started from Alex having the idea, and then I know you were taking me up quite a lot. Up Norton Summit. I'm sorry. And then like the first couple of episodes were based around like, let's see if Frankie can get it at 18:30, which I haven't yet. Oops. But
You will.
yeah. No, it is nice to see that some people have been quite receptive to the podcast values of be a PB.
Well, I was going to say, like, when we do the intro and we go through, like, look, at the end of the day, our goal is to encourage and celebrate, if I can actually talk.
Yeah.
Like, that's really, that's super cool when you see people, like, wanting to actually do better. Like, yes, for a small sense of validation, that's another story, but, like, that's super cool.
Yeah. I like it.
If it wasn't for the podcast, like we would have
Probably
never have
wouldn't
met.
be able to, yeah.
Correct.
I probably actually
Because that
probably
was my motivation, was just getting the fastest time every week to be on the podcast.
Yeah, but is that coming from a sense of wanting validation?
And then it was the real chamois as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and then it became into that competition to do the first sub 12. So
Yeah. I probably would have actually stopped writing altogether, I reckon.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, there you go.
I'm holding on for dear life by a thread.
you'll
So-
be right. Once
But yeah, three trainer sessions this week. You heard it from me first.
No, we'll hold
Gonna
you
try.
I
accountable.
like
Just half an hour. It's
Winter
fine.
Solstice is in 2 weeks' time, then the
Yeah.
days are getting longer.
Exactly.
Solstice.
Solstice. I was talking about Mexican.
Oh, lovely. Well, notable mentions, Alex.
Notable mention. So I did go and do chop yesterday. It wasn't on Strava.
They only did one group
I
yesterday.
only did one group, and
Yeah.
there was only about 5 chopping towards the end, and I happened to be 6th wheel, and I was getting dagged, and the petite perineum came up and gave me that little hand of
Just a
God,
little
hand of
on the
God.
back.
And he pushed me back on and he goes, that's only because you said I was good looking at the start.
When did you say it was good looking?
At the start of chop where we will meet at the
Right.
car
Oh.
park. Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you, Petite Premium. It was lovely. 7 a.m. morning perving.
Yes.
That is a delicious feeling when you just get that light little.
I was
oh.
trying so hard.
We also do need to mention another friend of the podcast. I can't remember his name.
Wingardium Levy Eurohosa.
That's the one.
Yes.
So as you listeners would remember, it's pretty much, it was actually 12 months of the day yesterday where he got hit by a car on Lower North East Road. And unfortunately during the week he had another bingle with another car, unfortunately, that pulled out on him down at Glenelg. So shout out to him. Just hope he's doing well. He wasn't injured all that well, so it's all that much, should I say. So yeah, just hope mentally he's doing well because it's
Well, I have a talk with him, and he is struggling with his love of cycling,
taking a knock.
and that's
it's
fair enough.
shit when you deal with drivers that are just peanuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. When it's completely not your fault, you're like, why do I do this to myself?
Yeah.
But then you get a Norton PB and you're like, that's why.
Also, best wishes to a friend of the pod, Mr. Maxi. He got hit while warming up for a cyclocross race. So an off-road race, getting hit on the road. So
Wow.
Was that at the velodrome last week?
yeah.
I reckon, yeah. Oh, so actually, because I went down there, was that on a Sunday?
Yes.
Yeah, because I went down on a Sunday to watch the elites, and then the cops turned up, and they were interviewing a few people.
Yeah,
I
so
wondered
you
why
had to
they were
run
there.
off.
Yeah, I quickly checked the reg on my car and got out of there. Yeah. So I wonder what was happening down there. Very good.
All right. Well, Wang.
Well, let's jump right into it. The main reason why we exist. Let's see who's been spinning up the summit this week and check out the times for the folks that have been giving us a show. It might be the fast guys. It might be the slow ones. It may even be the ones in between. But like we said, we'll dive into the riders' data if they show us and a little bit more robustly. And we'll see who has caught Frankie's eyes. Do we have a handpick this
No,
week?
I
Oh,
didn't. I'm
fuck.
sorry.
On the
leaderboard and some handpicked time for some fun and analysis. So we've got Money doing the fastest man and woman of the week. If I'd known this, I would have actually gone up this week. So he can read out my name.
The reaction was totally worth it.
Watch the socials, people. We'll give you that reaction.
Right.
Top man.
Top man of the week. Ride done on the 10th of June. 49k ride.
Targeted.
With a time of 13:24. We've got the Giant Bush. And actually has some stats.
Some data.
Heart rate of 173 beats per minute.
Still a bit more in it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not my max.
Really?
Yeah, average power of 371. And then we'll move on to the fastest woman. Wow, I've caught Frankie's disease. Can't speak.
I don't get
I've got
that.
more than that.
You go to the chemist, mate. You go to
Yeah, I hope I get those ones. With a 135k ride with a time of 16:16 with Queen Victoria.
Yeah, she's been up the top a lot lately.
She has literally been every week. 4.
She's a good rider.
Yeah.
Like that female Wang.
I think she's ex-rower.
Okay.
How would that help?
Are you serious?
Are you for reals?
You would have all back muscles.
Their legs in
They're
rowing
using
as
legs
well.
on a slidey seat.
On a slide.
It's like all
Oh,
legs.
shit. Yes.
Have you ever been on an indoor rower before?
Yes, I have, and I just had
Did
the
it?
neurons connected. Yeah.
Did you use your heart and
For
lungs?
some reason, I thought we were like rowing a boat, but no, we were using
You are
our
running
legs.
a boat.
No, I meant like you're just
Gently
sitting,
down the stream.
you know, like a
It's not fucking Noah's Ark, mate.
I mean, you know, like anyway. Please keep reading. Wait, no.
We've got some
That's it.
power data for
That is
her.
it. Yeah, we have. So heart rate of 169 with an average power of 284.
Good watts.
Yeah.
Wish I could do 284 up Northern Summit.
Yeah, so
Nice.
working. Kashi.
Yes, men's
All right, what have we
bracket.
got? 20-minute bracket, I reckon. So first off the ranks.
21 minute.
21.
21th. Sorry. We've got first off the ranks. We've got from 0 to Nero. Oh, I like that.
Thank
nice.
you.
With a 21:17, 200k ride.
That's what I'm looking at.
Not bad. So I reckon with a 208 watts average. So just tapping like 200k ride.
You wonder after 200.
Yeah, happy with that. Second off the ranks, we've got Mama's Boy. with a 21.19, 40k ride, 163 beats per minute. Sorry, got a little bit of got some background noise there. Spawn of Cash is having a delightful time. 163 beats per minute with 224 watts actually. So again, just chilling, somewhat targeted ride. Okay, just Rico.
40K.
Yeah, why not? Third off the ranks, what do we got? Possibly breed of dog.
I like that because look at his name.
Thank you.
Oh, it's like, that makes no sense.
Possibly a breed of dog.
Possibly a breed of dog. No power, no heart rate, but so fine. 21.20 and a 69k ride. Delicious. Fourth off the ranks, we got a Terry White chemist.
Drive past that way.
I did.
Knowing
Next
your
week,
thought process
Chemist
now,
Warehouse.
Yeah.
it just makes it way more funny.
So when you leave here, drive up Panham Road.
Yeah.
And there's a sign
Panham.
on the right hand
Yeah.
side that says
Panham.
Artesian Sourdough. And there is a name.
There you go. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yep.
I'm just waiting for Carl's Jr. So we got 46k ride, 21.20 again. Yeah. 144 beats per minute. So not too bad. Last but not least, we have chicken legs. Chicken legs. Friend of the podcast with the 207 watts, 151 beats per minute. That's a lot of beats.
He has got a heart.
Yeah. 21 with a 72k ride. Anyway, Frankie,
Yes.
women's bracket.
Women's. So we have Bushwhacker, who's done fucking hell.
She's not going to like that name.
Done a 21.25 on a 62k
I
ride.
just realised who Bushwhacker was.
Then we've done and Eileen Newlick has done a 21.41 on a 43k ride with a PB of 16.03. Then we've got Gloss and Grain, also a shop on Paynham Road, everybody. Has done a 21.43 on a 30-kilometre ride.
Ex-rower.
What are they all rowing? Maybe I need
It's
to
a
do
good
rowing.
changeover, like sport.
Yeah, it is.
I thought running was
Even
a
with
good
the muscles.
changeover.
Running's never good.
Okay. Then we have Passion Fingers, who's done a 21.47 on a 72-kilometre ride. And Burnt Coblo,
Oh,
170
Podcast
watts, with a 22.14 with her
yesterday. Chop.
151 beats per minute.
Maybe.
Don't know if it's a shout out, but she only just discovered long nicks.
Oh,
Bro,
funny story.
Where have you been?
No.
Under a
I
fucking
have a funny
rock.
story.
All right,
So
go,
we
go.
were all lined up to start chop, and
Yeah.
she pipes up on top of everyone. I can't believe no one's noticed I'm wearing long nicks. And that's how it came to be with Petite Perineum. Oh, I can't believe you're looking good today. Yes.
I like it.
I was seeing that in everyone's Strava title, and I was like, well, I don't understand where this is coming from.
was Big
Obviously,
Banana
it's such a-
wearing long?
Yes, she was.
Yeah.
Yep. Can I nominate a hand pick this week, please?
Go for it.
I'd love to. So
You're the boss.
I was out doing some Norton efforts or structured training, as you will.
Yeah,
A journey.
And I was going up, I was almost at the top, and Cash Me Outside passed me. And then we swapped places on the way down and the way up again. But he was doing the whole segment, and I was only doing 15 minutes. Yes. So he was like, this dude is fucking flying, because I was catching him, but I wasn't doing the whole up and down.
Yeah.
Whereas Cashy was going right to the bottom and back up again. So I
Was that during the week when both
Yeah,
of you
yeah, yeah,
put your
yeah.
Strava right up?
hello, Matthew, this is all.
Wait, it was fully in my head. I was like, this guy's fucking flying. Like I wasn't going slow, but I was just averaging probably 320 watts for the whole segment. And he was catching me, and I was
I'm
like,
only doing 246. And he's going, you're not fucking fast for 246.
it was good. It was lovely.
Nice.
It was good.
Very
Yes.
cute.
And then I almost got killed by a freaking porcupine.
Again,
Yeah.
I was listening to one of the old podcast episodes, and same deal. Was it you who almost
Probably. I'm always
No,
out.
it was Josh that had the
Because Frankie, you said he would have got a million punches if he run over it.
No, that was someone. That was you.
Probably, because
Yeah.
I am a non-Norton in the dark usually doing my efforts, so there's a lot of
Crazy.
wildlife.
That's right. Old mate Nelly bloody
Oh, he
took
took
me
you
out.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Car
yeah.
Nelly took me out. Yeah.
How
Along the corner,
Yeah.
there was another cyclist going up, and this 4B just decided to just
Go
keep
around
going.
him.
And I'm like, hi, I'm just
Hi.
here.
No thanks.
So provided to give him a good wave.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lovely.
And just, hey, how you going? Yeah.
What's coming up, Wang, apart from your pee-pee?
So weekend cycling coming up. So we've got this coming Sunday, the 8th of June, Adelaide Hill Cycling Club, got the Oakwood Road Kermesse. Oz Cycling on Tuesday the 13th and the 14th. We've got general track training and junior Maddo skills. Inside Line mountain bike on
my favourite.
Sunday the 25th. It's the charity chainless retro and hardtail event. And then we have Southern Coast Cycling, which are doing their South Coast Winter Wednesday Round 1 Track Carnival at the Superdrome.
And we actually had the first of the Norwood Winter Crits today, didn't we? And you were marshalling.
Yes.
Yep. Along with the Womb Broom.
Beg pardon?
Along with the Womb Broom.
He did. He come out with his three daughters and had a bit of a look. There wasn't that many noms. I think they only got 80 noms, so probably not the best weekend with a long weekend.
Definitely no prize money.
Definitely no prize money. They gave that all to the volunteers. Podcast, friend of the podcast, took our first place in A grade. Chicken Burger Connoisseur, CBC. Yep. There was only 10 in A grade. 5-man break, and they lapped the other 5. So it was a pretty.
I'm glad I didn't nominate then.
No, you would have been in the break.
Oh, I don't think so.
Because new to the A grade as well, Luke Hodges, he was in the break.
Oh, he's up there. Yeah, sweet.
Yeah. So he ran 4th.
He's riding well.
He's going well. So B grade, I think some interstate lad won that. C grade was the biggest field.
I saw that.
There was like 27 in C grade. And then all the juniors were out there as well. So, no, good to get back out on track. Sunday, probably not the best day. So many walkers and families.
Super late in the afternoon, eh?
Yeah, like so many just idiots just walking out on the track without looking. So,
oblivious to what's going on,
yeah. Almost swiped a few of them with my broom. Plenty of racing going on overseas as well. We didn't mention on at the moment. All the Aussies are doing well in the Dauphiné, I think.
Yates
Ben Connor's
second.
third.
Yates second?
Yeah, he's not Australian.
He can be.
4th is Jai Hindley, and then 5th Jack Haig.
There's 3. I think there's 3 in a row. There's Hindley, O'Connor,
Third,
and Haig,
fourth,
or something. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I just said. Yeah. Yeah. So, and 2 are not far away. So getting amped for the tour. Hopefully, we'll have a couple of Aussies in there. Maybe the Wombat. Hopefully. Or Green Eggs and Ham, as we call him.
What are the stats for Wombat?
Wombat raced the ZLM tour, did the prologue, which was a 6.5K prologue, so a bit over 7 minutes it was. He averaged 507 watts for 7 minutes.
Such a
Green
big
Eggs
number.
and Ham. That's just
More than
unreal.
your car puts out.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. So yeah, that's about all that's happening.
Well, with that, yeah, no worries, thanks.
My microphone.
Ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, wangs, creatures, all in between. If you've enjoyed yourself, why don't you give us a follow through your favourite podcast app and access all episodes through YouTube as well. Please subscribe, hit the bell icon. Ding. And don't forget to tell all your friends and share it with everyone.
We're also all over the socials where we give you updates, info, and let you know when new episodes are out, along with other podcast news and information. And if you want to support the podcast, head to our Buy Me a Coffee page, and if you donate, we'll give you a shout out on the podcast next week.
We would love your feedback.
No, we wouldn't.
No, we wouldn't. We got some.
And to know your thoughts,
We
Wang.
did get some feedback during the week.
Did we?
For some listeners.
Yeah.
I did. Yes.
If you don't like what we talk about on the podcast, it's
Don't
pretty
listen.
simple. Don't fucking listen. Unsubscribe and listen to another podcast. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't upset us. We're not going to lose sleep over
it
it.
kind of does.
Well, actually, it does.
No,
it does
it-
upset one
it
person, and that's not
does.
fair.
Yeah, I think I'm actually struggling a little bit. Now I do feel like I can't
She's not going to quit.
talk.
Frankie tried to quit for the 3rd time during the week. It's not going to happen. But yeah, look, simple. You don't like the podcast? Fucking don't listen. Simple.
But yeah, let's have a chat through our Facebook or Instagram page. Shoot us something through to our email at radelaidesummit@gmail.com. And with that,
Says here, don't be like Wang. He's a chump, but I think you misspelled champ.
chump.
No.
Chump.
No,
I was
no.
going to change that, but I
Be
just put it
like
in the run
Wang,
sheet.
he's a champ.
False advertisement.
He's so chunky you can carve him.
Thank you very much, Money, for coming on the pod.
Thank you.
Thank you for having
Yes.
me.
Can't wait
Thank
to
you.
see you next week now that the Wangs resigned.
Yes.
Yeah, I quit.
We'll see the
Bye,
rest of
friends.
you out in the summer next week.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye.